Okay, good morning guys. It is Tuesday, January 25th, and we are using our math notebooks to review what we learned about fractions and to add a couple more things to our notebook. So we're going to turn to where we put our notes on fractions yesterday. I think I put it in the back. Yep. Okay, so let's review what we learned yesterday. We learned or remembered that fractions are parts of a whole. If I eat 2/3 of a pie, then I'm only eating 2 parts out of 3 total. Okay? The numerator is the number that goes on top. The denominator is the total, which goes on the bottom, which when I say top and bottom, that's because there's a line that splits them up, right? This is your numerator, this is your denominator. Okay, now if you still have room on this page, you can continue down at the bottom if you want, or if you need more space, you can flip to the back, okay? But we're going to add the word unit fraction. Okay. Unit fraction is all of these that we're looking at right here. What do you notice that's in common about all of these fractions that we drew pictures of? What do they all have in common? Kelsey?
They all have 1 on top.
Very good. And what do we call the top number?
Numerator.
Numerator. Good. So unit fraction is a fraction with a numerator of 1. Okay, that's it. Pretty simple, right? 1/4, 1/8, 1/10, 1/100th, 1/25th. All of those are unit fractions because they have 1 as the numerator. Okay, the next word is compose. In math, the word compose means to put together. And in math, how do we usually put numbers together or fractions together? Kelsey? You add them. Composing usually means you're going to find the sum. What does sum mean?
An answer to an addition problem.
Good, Kelsey. Add. I'm just going to put a little plus sign next to it so you can remember what that means. So, in the case of composing fractions, all that means is you're going to add unit fractions together. You're putting them together. Okay? The next word is decompose. So if compose means to put together, decompose means to
Take away.
okay? Not just take away, but break apart. Or break down. You'll learn about decomposing, or we have learned about decomposing when we talked about soil, right?
Yeah. It's in our math notebook.
Dead animals, dead leaves, all decompose and eventually turn into soil. They break down into small parts. That's the same thing with math. You're decomposing fractions, you're breaking them apart into smaller pieces. So decompose, we're going to break apart. Break apart in fraction world means that you're going to write a fraction as unit fractions or smaller pieces, smaller fractions. Okay? So that's what we're going to be looking at today. How can you put them back together? By composing. And how do you break them apart, which is decomposing? So you're going to hear me say those words. Okay? Now you can put your journals away, and we will now open our Go Math Volume 1 book to page 61. Okay, so here we are, page 61. Sorry, mine is black and white today. We're using a paper copy instead of a book. But we will go through these pages together, talking about composing and decomposing, okay? Now, at the top where it says unlock the problem, I'm going to need a volunteer to read. All right, Kaylee.
Liz made a carrot cake and cut it in 4 equal slices. She ate 1 slice, or 1/4 of the cake. Her friends Tommy and
Renee.
Each ate 1/4 of the cake. Which fraction of the cake did Liz and her friends eat?
Okay. So we're having to take 1/4 for each of her friends. Okay? So her friends Tommy and Renee. So that's 3 people, right? We have Liz, Tommy, Renee. They're each eating 1/4. So everybody see the model right here.
Yes.
We're going to find the sum of unit fractions. So sum we know means to what? Add. And unit fraction we just learned is a fraction with 1 on the top. Okay? So they've drawn a picture with 4 parts and 3 of them shaded. So how much is shaded?
1/4.
1/4 here, yes. 1/4 here and 1/4 here. So how much is shaded in all?
3/4.
3/4. So you just composed those fractions into 3/4. Okay? You notice the denominator did not change. The denominator still stays 4. All we did was add the numerator. 1 plus 1 plus 1. Right, Allie? 3/4. So Liz and her friends ate 3/4 of the cake. Okay, so that's composing. We took small fractions and put them together, right, and made 3/4.
Can I read the bottom of the book?
Okay, now we're going to look at decomposing. Kelsey, go ahead and read.
Mr. Rivera made a pan of brownies. He cut the pan into 6 equal pieces. Each piece is 1/6 of the whole. His son Alex ate 2 pieces, so 4/6 of the pan of brownies is left.
Right, 4/6 as a sum of unit fractions. So now we are given the big fraction, and we're going to break it apart. So if I'm taking a big fraction and breaking it into smaller pieces, what is that called? If I'm breaking it apart, what is that word we just wrote down in our spirals?
Decompose.
Decompose. So we're taking 4/6 and we're decomposing into smaller pieces. So what would I put here on these blanks? What do y'all think? Bryson? Well, each piece is 1/6, right, of the brownies? So here's 1/6 of the brownies. 1/6. Each piece is 1/6. Okay? So we're breaking it apart into 1/6 sixths, or unit fractions. Okay, that's all we're doing today. You're adding fractions and then you're breaking them apart into smaller unit fractions. Okay? Notice again, we don't add the denominator. We didn't say 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals 36 over here. Yeah. Your denominator stays the same because those pieces are still cut into 6 pieces. Okay? We add the numerators to get 4. Make sense? Yeah. Okay, let's go to page 62. Number 1, write 6/8 as a sum of unit fractions. So let's go over those words again. What does sum mean?
The answer to an addition problem. Add.
Yes, sum means to add. Unit fraction is? Allie, what's a unit fraction?
A unit fraction is where you subtract it.
Unit fraction is a fraction with 1 on the top, right? Okay. So all we're doing is taking 6/8 and breaking it up into 1/8. So how many would I need to write? 6, because 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. 6 ones is going to give me 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, again, notice the denominator is not changing. We're still using pieces that are 8s. Okay? So we don't add those up. Okay? All right, I want you guys to try number 2. Write the fraction as a sum of unit fractions. The denominator will not change. Okay, so we had to, if we're taking 2/3 and breaking it down, what is that called? Decomposing. Yes, we decomposed. So if it's 2/3, then I need to have 2 unit fractions. 1/3 plus 1/3, because 1 plus 1 equals 2. The denominator stays the 3, right? Does not change. Okay, so let's go to number 3. I know it's going to have 6 on the bottom. Now what do we do to break this apart?
Oh.
What do we do, Allie?
Do 3 ones on the top.
Good. We need 3 of them because we have to add up to 3. That's 1 plus 1 plus 1. 3, 6. Okay? All right, you can come in. I want you guys to go ahead and try 4 and 5 on your own. Now, instead of decomposing, we're going to be... Okay, so if you're catching up with the video now, we have paused it so we have time to do 4 and 5. So now we're going to check those to make sure you got them right. If you still haven't done those, pause the video. So now we are composing because we are adding the 2 fractions and bringing them together. 1/4 plus 1/4 would be what, class?
1/4.
Everybody. When I say class, that means everybody should be shouting out the answer.
2/4.
2/4.
Yes.
Okay. Same thing here. You're composing because you're combining smaller pieces and making a big piece. So what would your answer be, class? 5/8. Let's try that again. We're going to do it all together, and when I say what is your answer, class, then you respond, not in the middle. Okay? What did you get, class?
5/8.
There you go, 5/8. And we do that because all we do is count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, number 6. Mrs. Collins cut a piece of yarn into 8 equal pieces. She used one piece for a craft project, so 7/8 is left. How can you write 7/8 as a sum of unit fractions? So what are we doing if we're taking 7/8 and writing it as a sum of unit fractions? Bryson?
You had a pie chart with 8 whole pieces, and she ate 1, and so she got 7.
But how are we going to write it as a sum of unit fractions?
How it is? 7/8.
It is 7/8, but we've got to break it up, right? So what is a unit fraction, guys? Anybody? Just out loud, what is it? What is?
The top number.
Okay, so we need to break this down into top numbers having 1, or the numerator having 1, right? How many of them do I need to write?
7.
7. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? How can you write 7/8 as a sum of unit fractions? Well, this is how you would do it. You would put 7 of those 1/8. Okay? Number 7. Can you write the number 1 as a sum of 4 unit fractions? Okay? 4 unit fractions. Okay, so let's think about that. If I need 4 unit fractions, that means 1 needs to be on top. Okay? But what would be my denominator? Anybody have a guess? Allie?
4.
4. Very good. And how did you know?
Because it says it. No.
It
It
says
gives 4 ones.
you have to have 4 to equal the whole 1, right? The whole piece. Okay? So now we need to add these up. What's 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1? 4/4. Good. So 4/4 is the same as the number 1, or 1 whole. Okay, and I can see that by breaking a pie into 4 pieces. If I shade 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, how much of that pie did I just shade?
1 whole.
The whole thing. So 4/4 is the same as 1 whole. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. 8/8 is going to be the same thing as 1 whole. Okay. All right, let's go to the next page, 63.
Can I read it? I'm gonna read it.
Number 8. No? Okay, Bryson, go ahead and read.
Taylor made a loaf of pumpkin bread and cut it into 8 square equal pieces. Look back at the carrot cake complete on page 61. Write the similar problem you can be solved by using the picture of Tyler's pumpkin loaf shown at the right. Then solve the problem.
Okay, it says look back at the carrot cake example on page 61, okay? So right here, they're sharing it with friends, right? And Liz, Tommy, and Renee each ate 1/4 of the cake. What fraction did Liz and her friends eat? Okay, so now it wants us to write a similar problem that can be solved by using the picture of Taylor's pumpkin loaf shown at the right. Okay, well, it tells us this pumpkin loaf is cut into how many pieces? 8. 8 equal pieces. So now we're going to make up our own problem and then solve it. So how many people do we want to talk about in our problem?
8.
8? Ooh.
Oh, no. 3.
3 people. Okay, so we'll say Bryson, Aaliyah, and Allie each eat what? How much?
1.
Oh, we don't want to just say 1. We need to say it as a fraction. We need to say it as a fraction. 1 what? What would your denominator be?
8.
Yes, 1/8. Good. Bryson, Aaliyah, and Allie each eat 1/8 of the carrot cake. Or of the bread. What could our question be now?
Oh.
Kelsey?
What?
What fraction? I'll get you started. What fraction did? Okay. Now do you?
Aaliyah and Allie
And Bryson.
and all.
There you go. Do and all. What fraction did they? I'm just going to say they, so we don't have to write the 3 names again. What fraction did they eat in all? Good. Now we have to solve it. How am I going to solve the question? What fraction did they eat in all? Evangeline? Okay, good. We are going to compose them by adding the 3 pieces they ate, which is 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8. So how much did they eat in all? 3/8. Okay. Any questions so far?
No, ma'am. You got 3.
All right, last page. 10, 11, 12, 13. I want you guys to do this on your own. And then we'll come back and check together, okay? Okay, let's go ahead and check your work. Number 10, Mrs. Davis made a large pot of soup for dinner. In all, she and her family ate 3/4 of the soup, which is 3/4 written as a sum of unit fractions. Okay, so remember your denominator does not change. It's going to be 4. So now I can automatically eliminate B. Okay, the numerator tells me how many unit fractions I need. If it's 3 as the numerator, then I need how many unit fractions? 3. Okay, so it can't be D because those aren't unit fractions. Okay, so A would have been correct. C has too many. That equals 4/4. A equals 3/4. Okay, B, what fraction is represented by the sum 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6? Today, what did you get? 3/6. Good. We have 1, 2, 3 pieces. So B is 3/6. Number 12. Penny cut a banana into 8 equal pieces. She ate 6 pieces, which is equal to the fraction of the banana Penny did not eat. Okay? Did not eat. So here we go again. They want to try to trick you. You've got to really pay attention. So she has a banana and it's cut into 8 equal pieces. Then that means my denominator is going to be what? 8. Good. She ate 6 pieces. So 6/8 is how much she ate. So how much did she not eat? Allie?
So I subtract, so to get the top one, I subtracted 8 minus 6, it equals 2, and it's not D or B and C.
Okay, slow down, slow down. Slow down. You're doing everything right, but let's explain a little bit more. She did 8 minus 6 because imagine your banana. Let's just say this is my banana as a circle, and there's 8 pieces. She ate 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means 2 of those pieces are left. So that's what she did here. 8 minus 6 is 2. So that's your numerator. 2/8. Okay? So which is equal to the fraction she did not eat? Well, 2/8 plus 2/8 is 4/8. So it can't be A. We don't need 4/8. We need 2/8. Okay? What about B? No, what does it equal? 3/8. C?
Yes.
Yes. 2/8 is how much she did not eat. So C is correct. D doesn't even have the right denominator. Okay, the last one, which is 3/8 written as a sum of unit fractions. So we're breaking it apart into unit fractions. Okay, so does A look right?
No.
No, it equals 4/8. B?
Yes. No.
Yes or no? And I should hear more than just Allie.
Yes.
Yes, it's right. 3/8. B. All right, any questions on that?
No, ma'am.
All right.